Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a moment in every person's life when the mirror no longer reflects who they used to be. A moment when the past has crumbled, the dreams have faded, and the path ahead seems unclear. It's the moment after the storm, after the betrayal, after the failure, after the breakdown. It's the silence after the chaos, and it's in that silence that you hear the most powerful call of your life. A call not to go back, not to escape, not to give up, but to rebuild. You see, life will break you. That's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. Life doesn't hand out free passes. It comes with pressure, with pain, with problems that hit you when you least expect them. But hear me loud and clear. Just because something breaks doesn't mean it's over. Just because your heart was shattered, your plans were ruined, or your confidence was crushed, doesn't mean your story ends there. That's just the moment before the rise, before the rebuild. Rebuilding isn't easy. It's messy. It's uncomfortable. It requires you to dig through the debris of your own doubts and find the courage to believe in your future again. You'll have to let go of what was and fight for what can be. You'll have to confront the part of you that gave up, that settled, that got tired, and remind it that you were never born to live broken. You were born to rise. This is the time. This is the season. You can't stay in survival mode forever. You can't keep rehearsing your regrets and feeding your fears. At some point, you've got to say, enough is enough. I'm not waiting on rescue. I'm becoming the rebuild. And when you do, something shifts inside you. The ashes start turning to fuel. The tears start watering your roots. And the pain becomes the foundation for something greater than you've ever imagined. It's time to rebuild yourself, not into who you used to be, but into the person you were always meant to become. And today, I'm going to give you the tools to do just that. Your past is a place of reference, not residence. Too many people try to build their future while living full time in the ruins of yesterday. They carry the weight of what went wrong, who walked away, what they didn't accomplish, or who they failed to become. They make their history their home, not realizing that what's behind them was only meant to teach them, not trap them. You cannot build a new structure on broken foundations unless you first clear the debris. And that begins with how you view your past. Your past has power, yes, but it only has the power you give it. It can't chain you unless you keep returning to it. The pain you felt, the disappointment you endured, the mistakes you made, those are not your identity. They are chapters, not the conclusion. They are bricks, not the entire building. And if you allow them to sit in your mind as permanent truths, they will rot the frame of who you're becoming. You must look back only to gather wisdom, not wounds. You visit the past to learn, not to live. Every scar you carry isn't a symbol of shame, it's a symbol of survival. It's proof that you went through something, and you made it. It's not meant to paralyze you. It's meant to remind you of how far you've come. But if all you do is sit in that past, reliving the moments that broke you, you'll miss the opportunity to rebuild, because healing can't take place in the same mindset that created the pain. You need a shift. You need a new blueprint. And that blueprint starts with telling yourself, I am not my past. I am not my lowest moment. I am not the person I was when I was hurting. I am the builder now. Sometimes we carry shame like it's a badge of honor. We replay bad decisions like they define our worth. But your past mistakes don't make you a failure. They make you experienced. They make you aware. They give you insight, wisdom, tools. And when you understand that, You stop hiding from your past and start harvesting from it. You stop avoiding the memories and start extracting the lessons. Because rebuilding doesn't mean pretending it never happened. It means building something better because it did. Yes, maybe you lost some years. Maybe you gave your time to the wrong people. Maybe you invested in dreams that crumbled. But guess what? You're still here. And if you're still here, that means purpose didn't leave with the pain. It means there's still something left in you. But you'll never touch it if you keep pitching a tent in your trauma. You can't construct a future while staring through the window of regret. You have to turn around. You have to face forward. There's a reason your car's windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror. Because where you're going is more important than where you've been. Yes, glance back. Reflect. Learn. But don't drive backward. Don't set up shop in a place you were never meant to stay. Growth happens in motion. Healing happens in momentum. And rebuilding only happens when you finally make peace with your past and move your feet toward your future. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not damaged goods. You are not too far gone. That's what the past wants you to believe. That's what your fear whispers in the dark. But those are lies. The truth is, you are more than your worst day. You are more than your biggest failure. You are more than the voice that told you you'd never rise again. Inside you is the blueprint for a greater version of yourself. But you won't find it by digging through the ashes of what no longer serves you. Rebuilding starts when you shift from blame to building, from reliving to rewriting, from being stuck in "why me" to walking in "watch me." There is power in reclaiming your narrative, in saying, yes, that happened, but it doesn't own me anymore. Because the past will try to own you. It will try to sneak into every conversation, every relationship, every opportunity. It will try to convince you that you're not ready, not worthy, not enough. But that's when you remind it, I've learned, I've grown, I've healed, and I'm building again. You have to put boundaries on your memory. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every memory deserves your energy. Some thoughts are meant to be left behind, not carried into your next chapter. You don't owe your past anything except gratitude for the lessons. You don't have to keep paying rent on a place that doesn't bring you peace. It's time to move out. It's time to break the lease. It's time to step into something new. And maybe you're thinking, but I've made so many mistakes. Welcome to the human experience. Mistakes are not the end of you. They are the education. They are the preparation. They are the uncomfortable classroom that equips you for what's next. And if you're willing to stop seeing them as permanent failures, you'll begin to see them as building blocks, tools, materials. You can build something beautiful out of what tried to break you. But not if you stay bitter. Not if you stay in that same emotional space, talking about what could have been, should have been, might have been. That's why rebuilding requires forgiveness. Forgiveness for others, yes, but most of all, forgiveness for yourself. Because you can't build while beating yourself up. You can't create a future while holding yourself hostage to yesterday's version of you. At some point, you've got to say, I didn't know better then, but I know better now. I've made peace with who I was so I can become who I'm meant to be. And listen. Some people will try to keep you in your past. They'll remind you of your mistakes, your failures, your flaws. That's because they haven't done their own rebuilding. Don't let their limited view become your ceiling. You're not responsible for their perspective. You're responsible for your progress. And your progress depends on your decision to make peace with the past, not to erase it, but to outgrow it. You have the power to create something extraordinary from the ruins. Every great structure begins with a broken foundation that was cleared, leveled, and rebuilt. And your life is no different. What you lost doesn't define you. What you do next does. And if you're willing to stop carrying the past like a permanent weight, you'll begin to rise, stronger, wiser, bolder. You can build a future so powerful that your past won't even recognize you. A life so full that it overshadows what you thought you lost. But it starts with a decision to stop camping in regret, to stop blaming yourself for what you didn't know, to stop revisiting pain like it's a place of safety. You're not safe there. You're stuck there. And stuck is not your destiny. You are capable of more than you realize. But your energy must be directed forward. You can't split your power between what was and what will be. One must go. Choose the future. Choose the build. Choose the rise. That's where your strength lives. That's where your freedom begins. Let today be the day you step out of your history and into your healing. Let today be the day you gather the bricks of your past, not to build a wall of defense, but a foundation of destiny. Let today be the day you say, that was then, this is now, and I am the builder of what's next. Because your past may be part of your story, but it is not the architect of your future. You are. And it's time to pick up the tools. You won't rebuild your life until you rebuild your mindset. Every transformation begins in the mind long before it manifests in the world. You can't change your reality if your thinking is still stuck in the rubble. You can't build something new with old beliefs. A broken life isn't just the result of outside circumstances. It's the reflection of internal conclusions we've made about ourselves, our worth, and what's possible. If your thoughts stay the same, your results will repeat. Your mindset is the engine, the architect, and the power source behind everything you create. So if you want to rebuild your life, that rebuild must start in your head. Rebuilding your mindset means challenging every lie that failure taught you. It means silencing the voice that says you're too late, too broken, too far gone. It means stripping away the labels other people put on you. Some of us are trying to build our lives using the blueprints of other people's doubts. We carry the judgments of teachers who said we'd never be enough. We internalize the pain of people who left us when we needed them most. But let me tell you this, you are not the opinion of someone who gave up on themselves. You are not the echo of someone else's fear. You are what you decide to believe. And the moment you change your thoughts is the moment you change your future. A renewed mind creates a renewed life. The people who rise after devastation are not always the strongest, the smartest, or the luckiest. They're the ones who refuse to let defeat become their identity. They feel the pain, but they don't live in it. They recognize the loss, but they don't let it define their limit. They wake up every day and choose new thoughts, thoughts of possibility, thoughts of strength, thoughts of movement. Because you can't win with a losing mindset. You can't thrive while you're still thinking like a victim. You must train your mind to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You must train it to speak life, even when everything feels dead. That doesn't happen by accident. It happens through discipline, through repetition, through conscious effort. You have to feed your mind daily like it's the only thing keeping you alive, because it is. The world around you can't outgrow the world inside you. You'll never have peace if your thoughts are in chaos. You'll never walk in success if your mind is stuck in survival. You'll never build new levels if your belief system still operates at the level where everything fell apart. Rebuilding your mindset starts with what you say to yourself. Words are seeds. Speak defeat and you'll grow weeds. Speak power and you'll grow purpose. Start talking to yourself like someone you believe in. Replace "I'm not ready" with "I'm preparing." Replace "I've failed too many times" with "I've learned more than most." Replace "This is too hard" with "Hard is where I rise." You are the gatekeeper of your mind, and it's time to stop letting toxic thoughts move in rent-free. The most dangerous thing about a broken mindset is that it feels familiar. It becomes your normal. You stop even noticing the way your thoughts sabotage you. You accept mediocrity as safety. You shrink your dreams to match your doubt. But there comes a time when you have to interrupt that pattern. When you have to step back and say, "No more." Because the thoughts that got you here won't take you there. The beliefs that helped you survive won't help you thrive. You need an upgrade. Your mind is like software, and some of us are still running programs written by pain, by childhood trauma, by past betrayals. It's time to uninstall what no longer serves you. It's time to delete the internal script that says you're unworthy. It's time to rewrite the code with truth, vision, and resilience. You are not stuck. You are programmed. And if you change the program, you change the outcome. That's why exposure matters. Who you listen to, what you read, what you allow in your environment. These are the architects of your thoughts. You can't think like a champion while surrounding yourself with people who've accepted defeat. You can't dream big while feeding your mind with negativity. You need a mental diet that nourishes your belief system. You need voices that lift you, words that push you, images that inspire you. Protect your mental space like it's sacred ground, because it is. Rebuilding your mindset also means getting uncomfortable. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. If you want to stretch your thinking, you must leave the familiar. You must challenge the assumptions that have kept you small. You must confront the fears that have built walls around your vision. Fear thrives in stagnant minds. But when you start to move forward, even with trembling hands, you send a message to your brain. We're doing this anyway. And the more you act, the more your mind aligns with your mission. You also have to get honest with yourself. What limiting beliefs are you still carrying? What story do you keep telling yourself about why you can't rise? Who do you still believe you have to be in order to be loved, accepted, or successful? The rebuild doesn't happen until you strip all of that down, until you stop pretending, until you look yourself in the mirror and say, "Oh, I'm done thinking small. I'm done repeating fear. I'm done living in a mindset I didn't choose." This process isn't always easy. There will be resistance. Your mind will try to protect you from change because it confuses comfort with safety. But comfort zones are not safe zones. They're slow death zones. You stay there long enough, and you forget what you're made of. You forget how to fight. But you weren't made to be tame. You were made to take territory. And that starts by reclaiming your mind. You have to talk back to your fear. You have to talk back to your doubt. You have to catch the thought and correct the thought. You must become the loudest, most powerful voice in your own life. Not the voice of ego or arrogance, but the voice of conviction. The voice that says, "I know where I've been. but I also know where I'm going. I know what I've lost, but I'm focused on what I'm building. Rebuilding your mindset also requires patience. This isn't a switch, it's a process. You will have days when the old thoughts sneak back in. You will have moments when your faith shakes. That's normal. But just because you slip doesn't mean you stop. You remind yourself daily, I'm not rebuilding to impress people. I'm rebuilding because I owe it to the person inside me who still believes. And each day, with each thought, you get stronger. Sometimes the greatest rebuilds are the quiet ones, the ones that happen in solitude. When no one sees your grind, your tears, your inner war. But that's where the real transformation begins. Not on the stage, but in the silence. Not in the spotlight, but in the shadows. You win in your mind before you win in your life. So stand guard at the gate of your thoughts. Speak life when you feel empty. Declare purpose when the path is unclear. Choose power when fear knocks. You don't need a perfect mindset. You need a committed one, a determined one. One that says, no matter what it looks like, I'm building something better. No matter how long it takes, I won't stop. No matter what I've believed before, I'm choosing a new thought today. Because the truth is, you already have what you need. You have the raw materials, strength, wisdom, fire. But until you shift the way you see yourself, you'll keep building broken. Until you renew your thoughts, you'll rebuild the same life in a different form. But when you change your mindset, everything else changes. You see differently. You move differently. You rise differently. Your mind is the first construction site. Before the business, before the relationship, before the dream, build here. Build now. And watch the world around you begin to mirror the clarity and conviction you've created within. You don't need permission to start over. You need vision. And that vision begins in your mind. So pick up your thoughts like tools. Lay down a new foundation. Frame your future with faith. Roof it with hope. Fill it with purpose. And walk into it like you were born for this, because you were. It's time to rebuild inside out. Mind first. Life next.